Show, Episode 1. I am Taryn, and this is Ben.
Hello.
Essentially, the whole idea of this is to provide you with the results and news from the esports world over the last week. Before we start talking about all that stuff, though, I'd like to thank Children of the Monkey Machine, whose remix of several Final Fantasy songs, including the main theme song, was provided for the introduction and will be used in the outro. A link to the OC Remix page where you can download this will be left in the description. With that, let's get straight into it. So last weekend there was a little event called BlizzCon. I'm sure you heard about it, Ben.
Yeah, I've heard about it. It's getting around quite lately, actually.
Yeah, there was quite a lot of happenings there. You know, like the Overwatch coming out not being free to play like we all anticipated.
A lot of people were disappointed as soon as myself has heard that. Yeah, absolutely shattered. It's such a great game, but the fact that they've put a price cap on it, it's a bit iffy now.
It massively disappointed me, but the main things we want to speak about here are the esports, and there were a few world championships that happened there. We had where are we? We had the StarCraft World Championship Series where we had SOS take out Life, who was one of the favorites in a 4-3 series. We saw Osaka take out the Hearthstone World Championship. We saw SK Gaming take out the World of Warcraft Arena Championship. And we also saw C9 take home the first ever Heroes of the Storm World Championship. So it was quite a big weekend.
It was. That's a pretty big one there. So over in Dota 2, we're currently in the middle of the Frankfurt Majors. Let's have a look at the lineup that we've got going so far. With the main event in the upper bracket, we've got Evil Geniuses up against Vega Squadron, followed by SDEC Gaming up against LGD Gaming. We got Team Secret versus Minisky, Vinci Gaming versus Virtus Pro, and even in the lower brackets, we've got Cloud9 versus Alliance, OG versus Fnatic, Newbie versus Team Unknown, and eHome versus Newbie Youngs.
Sounds massively interesting. Should be definitely interesting to see what happens there over the next week.
They have got some pretty even matchups going there with Fnatic versus OG, Cloud9 versus Alliance. That's in the lower brackets. You've got Evil Genius versus Vega Squadron, sorry. So yeah, it's going to be a pretty tough matchup, to be honest.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens over there. But if we move over to one of Valve's other games, Counter-Strike, over the last couple of days we had the iBuy Power Cup, where the highest ranked team who was not already invited was given a spot at IEM Cologne next week. Unfortunately for us Aussies, the Renegades fell out in the group stages, losing to CLG in a deciding match 16-10. Cloud9 actually took out the tournament, defeating Team Liquid 2-1, but because they already had a direct invite, Team Liquid will be joining C9, TSM, Envious, Luminosity, Virtus Pro, Navi, and G2 at Intel Extreme Masters San Jose leg next week.
That actually sounds pretty interesting.
That should be good. But yeah, if we move over to League of Legends, another MOBA. Over the last week or so, we had the Casper Cup.
Yeah, with the Casper Cup, very, very, very interesting how that went down. We had SKT losing to Ever.
Jesus.
We had CJ make it to the finals versus Ever. Wow, it's looking pretty good for Korean teams at this moment.
Yeah, I mean, if a challenger team from Korea can beat recently crowned world champions, it honestly has to show the power of Korea. I mean, that's crazy.
That's
For
for
Ever to
sure.
2-0 them.
Ever to 2-0, definitely. SKT just got slaughtered after their top-notch performance at Worlds, doing a three straight victory. Yeah, it was very high anticipated, but Ever just came through and slaughtered 2-0. I mean, I have no idea what's going on there.
I mean, it's got to be part cockiness. I mean, for not even playing either Faker or Easy Hoon in the first game there, it's got to show just a bit of disrespect, you know.
Let's have a look at the lineups. In the first game, we had Marin, Benji, Scout, Bang, and Wolf for SKT. We had Crazy, Ares, Atheist, Loki, and Key for bloody shit. What's her name again?
Ever.
Ever. That's it. So we had them forever running up. The results were very poor for SKT. Marin on Rumble, went 4-5-2. then 5. Scout on Gangplank 1, 3, and 5. Yeah, I don't know why they're going so poor at the moment. Scout's not playing much at Worlds. He was sitting bench half the time.
Scout
So
wasn't
I thought they
even a
might have
part of
came.
their Scout wasn't even part of their world's team. He's their third.
Yeah,
He's was their third tier mid laner. They didn't even play easy in their second tier. So I think it shows a little bit of cockiness. Disrespect.
yeah,
Challenger team.
they were yeah, really pushing for an all-time this time. We had Bang on Tristana 342, still negative. Wolf on Alistair 041. I mean, there was
Yeah, I don't know
no
what's going
engagement.
on. Maybe
It
just
was
they
all
haven't had
really
enough
just
practice on the new patch.
that could be the problem with the new items and big changes, which we won't cover today. It could have thrown their play way out.
Yeah, I'm
So
actually
if
not sure if the Casper Cup was played on the newest patch. It's something we'll have to look into. But let's talk about the final for a
ever
little
for
bit.
game one, yeah, we had Crazy on Rise, who went 5, 3, and 8. We had Aries on Rek'Sai 1, 1, 10. Antheans on Lysandra 518, Loken on Siva 9-0. That is a
Jesus.
huge pull through for them. Key on Bard with 1-4 and 13. So their team averaged out very well on that.
Yeah, it definitely sounds like a good game. But if we move on to the finals now, CJ Entis took on Ever in a best of 5 series, and Ever absolutely dominated. Won the series 3-0.
Series, yeah, 3-0. They just slaughtered CJ Entis, just not a chance at all.
I mean, I have no idea what's going on with these top tier teams. It's like they all seem to have just purely disrespected this team. Like this Ever is a team that can't even get out of the Challenger. They lost in the Challenger promotion series.
And then
So
you just go against a high tier team such as SK Telecom T1.
yeah, they can beat two of the
And
top Korean teams in the world and just absolutely obliterate them.
yeah, such as Benji and Wolf. You even have Faker among that team. And they just absolutely threw against this lower quartile Korean team.
Yeah, honestly, it just shows the power of Korea. If they're, their lowest, one of the lower tier teams in their challenger scene can beat the world champions.
Yeah, the 2015 world champions. It's just mind blowing. Alrighty, so let's move on to our next subject, which is the majors roster changes at the moment. Ever since Worlds, we've seen a lot come out about roster changes, such as, let's we have a look at it.
I think the
Okay.
major one is TSM. TSM pretty much signing every new player in every lane except mid.
Yeah,
They,
TSM
of
pretty
course,
much
we have
just
the double lift.
yeah. So we got TSM announces IAM roster, including Horzen, Sevenkin, and
Hornsig, Spenzgaren, and
releases
Kasink.
CLG. Yeah, Double Lift was released by CLG and has now joined TSM. A lot of people were a bit upset about that because Double Lift gave out so much crap about TSM being such a bad team, and then as soon as he got threw out, where did he run to? Straight to TSM. So yeah, a lot of people had a very good laugh at that. We
I,
also have uh, Dyrus and Lustboy retire. So yeah, a lot of people didn't see that coming, and they were very disappointed. But
Everyone saw the Dyrus one coming. Everyone knew he was retiring. He said it many times that this was probably his last season. But Wild Turtle,
Lustboy,
Last Boy retiring, that was a surprise. That was definitely a surprise.
yeah, no one saw that coming, but there it is.
Pretty much.
With Cloud9, we had Elimination retire. They have now jungle and support tryouts to be held.
Have they chosen their new team yet? I don't think they have.
No, it's still in the tryouts, yet to be announced.
Okay, we'll see what goes on there. I'm hoping they pick up a really good jungle.
Yeah,
They're-
yeah, double release from there. The head coach Chris Entons released. Shuhai moves to starting mid role.
That'll be
Quite
interesting.
okay, so that's enough of the North Americans. Let's have a look at the European LCS. We have Team Rocats. We had Nuke Duck resign, so that's good news for them. Gambit Gaming, we have Gosu Pepper leaves Gambit Gaming, becomes a free agent. We're seeing a lot this season of players coming free agents.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know where they're going to go. There's just so many free agents now. Teams have so much choice.
Yeah, Gambit Gaming coach head announces free agency with
Cabashard, yeah,
yeah, we got Follow Esports, Team
yeah.
Dignus.
This was a major one. Dignitas, the because
Yeah,
Dignitas EU made the LCS coming through the Challenger Series, but Dignitas as a organization can't have two teams in the LCS,
yeah. So
so
one had to go.
they had to sell off either the Europeans or the NAs, and it seemed like the Europeans were the ones to go with Follow Esports picking them up.
Unicorns of Love. We have Vandargs leaves Unicorn and becomes a free agent. Like I'm saying, a lot of players are actually coming out to be free agents now. H2K Gaming, the H2 coach Prolly announces free agency.
That was
Element
disappointing.
Elements Tabs announces free agency. Giants Gaming opens top and jungle positions to tryouts. Origins Powerful of Evil joins Origins as sixth man. It's all
Yeah,
happening.
that one's a little. Yeah, the Origin one's a little interesting because everyone was expecting Peke to just retire straight up, focus on managing the team. But
Yeah,
rather, he's decided to just split the mid lane, and whoever's playing better in the week will play mid lane.
it's going to be a chop and change to
So
the roster.
yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it works, how they go with it.
Hey,
Um,
we got
if we move
Games
over to China, though,
China.
are you
Yeah,
going to
China.
Korea?
Nothing really new there except
There's
for SK
not much in Korea.
Faker. Faker
Yeah,
re-signed,
if we
so
go to China,
let's go.
I don't think Faker will be leaving SKT anytime soon.
No, definitely not.
I think he's there
Um,
for the rest of his career. Um,
so as
over
you
in
said,
China, we've got
yep, you go.
OMG's San retiring.
Yeah,
We've
that one.
got WE. Pardon?
I was about to say that one was really out of the nowhere, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was something I really didn't expect that one coming. Other than that, there's not much other movements. Seems like the
Yeah,
main movements are from the NA and EU LCSs.
yeah,
It
that's
will
pretty much.
definitely be an interesting season next season.
Mhm. So yeah, what brings on season 6 is well really unknown. All right, so next up on our
Yeah,
agenda is All Stars.
yeah. So for those who have no idea, we have the All Stars event being played next month over in, I can't remember off the top of my head where, but essentially fans vote for who they want from each region to represent their region in each position. So
Yeah.
you vote
Evolving.
for a top lane, a mid lane, a jungle.
Yep.
Go on.
So evolving from 2014's All Stars voting formats, fans will vote 5 players to represent their regional's dream team for the NA LCS, EU LCS, the LCK, LPL, and LMS this year. With IWC's top 10 added to the mix, the 6 teams will be assigned to either a Fire team or an Ice team based on their region's performance at Worlds. So if we actually have a
Yeah, it
look,
should definitely be interesting.
we actually have a look at the moment. I'll start with the LCK Champions career standings. So for our top laner, we're looking at SKT's Marin at 44 point. We're going over to jungle. We got SKT's Benji at 39% voting. Mid laner, okay, everyone can guess who this is going to be. We got SKT Faker with 78% of the voting. We have over in our ADC position, we've got Coup Tigers Prey at 37.9. And with our support, we've got the CJE's Mad Life at 58.5%. So that's a
It'll
very
definitely be a hard team to beat.
that is a very strong
That's
line we've got going there. But things
yeah.
can change.
If we move over to
Yep, you can go.
if we move over to the NA, we see Dyrus being the top voted top laner with 41%
Yep.
of the votes. So we all know that Dyrus will probably be top laner for NA. In the
Definitely.
jungle, the top voted is High.
Yeah.
I don't know why High is so highly voted. That's rather confusing to me.
Well, these are not set at the moment. These are still in the voting process. So at any time, these can chop and change. But with the
Oh yeah,
LCK Korean, they're very standard forwards. But with NA and LPL China EU, they're still very choppy and changey. So at any time, we could see C9's Mentos um, come into the jungle position. Like, there's no telling what's going to happen at the moment.
you say that, but then if we look over at the NA mid laner, we I don't think anyone's overtaking Bjergsen anytime soon with over 75% of the vote.
That is definitely, you might as well
Same
lock that
as
in right now.
yeah, another
Yeah, same
thing you
as
need
the
to lock is this definite bot lane. The
double
ADC and the
lift.
support double lift Afro.
I'm a bit disappointed myself not seeing Sneaky come in, but all over, better performance is going to come from double lift for sure.
It's not just the double lift performance.
As
Everyone's voting him
support,
and Afro Mu in as the ADC and support just because of, they both said how much they dislike each other.
definitely. It's going to be pretty funny to watch, actually.
So it will
With
definitely be something to watch.
support, yeah, like you said, that's still another lock-in when you think about it. With 39.2%, the closest is going to be C9's Lemon Nation at 14.3.
He's
So
got my vote.
there is a big gap, but not anytime soon. We're going to see a spike. But like I said, these are not permanent positions at the moment. Anytime things can chop and change.
For sure. If we move over to EU now,
All
we'll
right, let's
just
have a look
look
at
at so pretty much got Hooney. You got Hooney as an almost definite lock in there for the top lane with over nearly 60% of the votes at the moment.
yeah, that's
Jungle's rather close.
yes. With jungle, we've got OG amazing over on 24.1%. There still is a chance that he could overtake in the voting, but OG's amazing seems to have the lead at the moment.
Yeah, definitely. If we look at the mid lane, Peke is obviously the top voted. Everyone expects that.
Everyone suspects that. We do have Fanatics Fabruven, if that's pronounced right. Coming in at
Febvin.
second for Bevan, coming in at 24.7%. So yeah, it looks like Ekpeke is definitely going to be the mid laner for here, but uh, I don't know. I think Forbiven might have a chance.
No, I think the it'll be close. It'll be close, but not as close as the EUA ADCs. 0.2% difference between OG and Fnatic, Niels and Reckless.
Yeah. So if we jump over to ADC, this is almost a dead set tie for who we want as ADC. Neelis at 0.2%. And second place, we've got Fnatic Reckless at 36. What do you think about that?
Yeah, it's definitely close. Definitely close. I'd really like to see Reckless in there, especially
Same.
him back with Peke. But it'll be interesting, especially if Yellowstar gets support. Reckless Yellowstar is just an absolute beast of a lane, and I think it would give EU one hell of a chance.
So if we jump over support at the moment, Yellow Star is in the lead with 32.7%, as well as S2K, not S2K, sorry, as well as H2K's Kasing at 21.1. So he's, I wouldn't say very close, but he is behind, not too far.
Yeah, for sure. But just looking at the LMS quickly, we've got Ziv being the top pick for the top lane. We've got Casa for the jungle. We've got Toys for the mid lane. We have Bebe as ADC and
Yeah,
support as Ola. They're all rather close, but it looks like those are pretty much locked in, I would imagine.
I would imagine. And if we just head over to China, we're going to see EDG's Coro 1 at 44.2%. That's definitely a lock in. Oh, getting croaky voice. If we head to our jungle, we've got EDG's Cheer Love at 63.9%. That is also definitely a lock in. Mid lane is
Yeah.
Rookie at IG, 33.3%, where EDG's Pawn is at 20.1%. I don't see that changing anytime soon. We got OMG's Uzi at 51.3%. That is a solid pick. With LGD's Imp at second place with 26.7%. With our supports, it's another solid pick with LGD's Ply at 45.8% and VG's Mata at 17.9%. That's again, it's another very solid pick. Must pretty much be insta-lock team.
Yeah, it seems rather insta-locked. It rather disappointed me though, because we could have had 4/5 of the great Samsung White representing a completely different region, but instead we're probably not going to have any of them.
No, the fact that Samsung White has not actually made an appearance this year is shocking itself, considering that they actually have a world's
I
title under
mean,
their belt.
no, it's not the fact of that. It's more 4/5 of their entire team is in China, but not one of them looks like they're going to have a chance of representing the region at All Stars. That
Yeah, it also,
disappoints me greatly, especially
and with
the immortal lane of Imp and Martyr.
yeah, well, with a very solid team making no appearance, that is actually very disappointing.
Yeah, I don't know, because the team was pretty much dissolved after the World Championships last year. They all just left and went to other teams in China. So they were all split up. I was kind of hoping for a reunite, all of them reuniting, representing a different region. How awesome would it have been to have, one team, all 5 players representing a completely different country to the country they won the World Championship for?
Mm, that would have been a very good stand, but at the end of the day, this whole All Stars is really down to you guys, the fans. Really, it's disappointing that a team such as Samsung White, after they disbanded, did not make a comeback, but it's down to the fans.
Pretty much. What about you? If you could put all these regions together and pick your one true dream team, what would you pick?
That's that's
Or who
really
would you pick?
okay. I'll start with mid lane. Everyone's got to know this one. It's SKT's Faker. Um, I would put SKT Easy Hoon in the bench, just because he is a solid performer. But no, SKT Faker, he's the all-star right there. Um, I mean, look at him. He's so cocky. He did a barrel roll, and oh my goodness, just
Got to dodge the ash arrow.
exactly. Yeah, it's really hard because Bergerson, Bergerson, how do you pronounce that?
Bjergsen.
Bergson, Jurgson. Fuck, it's
That'll
such a
do.
hard. Yeah. With TS, I would have picked him in second place, but I don't feel he actually competed to the same standards, to be honest. Like he was
Oh,
very
God, no.
weaker, or even Easy Hoon, to be honest. For the
Yeah, no
jungler,
way.
it's SKT Benji. It's definitely for sure. He's one of my favorite junglers, and he performs fairly well. For the top laner, I'm gonna go Honey. F Fanatics Honey, definitely for sure. Um, that leaves ADC and support. Double lift, CLG double lift, definitely. Like I said, I would
TSM
like
double lift.
TFSM. My apologies, Jesus, Like I said, everyone just laughed at that when he moved on to TSM. Um, I would like to see Sneaky. He is amazing. I find he's so fun to watch. But no, double lift, definitely for sure, and support, elimination, C9 elimination for sure. That'd be my dream
Yeah,
team. All right, how about you?
you've got not a bad team there, but I'm going to mix it up a little bit here. In my mid lane, I'm going to go with Keen from Gravity over in North America.
Yep.
His creativity of bringing things such as Urgot to the mid lane is just, I love it. Also, the fact that he played in Oceania, he's just, my favorite mid laner.
But he can't compete with the Faker Yi mid. That he just can't compete with that.
Oh, have you seen him play on stream? He went and played through every single champion in mid lane. Like, come on.
Yeah, I will admit he's talented, but just the just the Faker Yi mid, ugh, it just destroys.
Of course, Fake is the best mid laner in the game, but you got to mix it up a little bit. Give someone else a say. Top lane, I've definitely got to go with Dyrus. You know, seeing Dyrus play just one more time on the competitive stage would just be great.
Definitely for
Um,
sure, yeah.
in the jungle's definitely is a little difficult. I would probably have to go with Clearlove, the EDG jungler. We didn't see a great performance from him at Worlds, but his jungling skills are just unrivaled. Um, if we move over to ADC, honestly, I think for my ADC and support, I would take Xiaogu's TNT and TCT. Their bot lane play is just immaculate. They work together so well. And
But look
that
at them
is
as single performing. Like I know you're
that's why we
gonna
put them
pick.
together.
That's why you put them together. They work well as a team, but in their solo queue, how do they perform?
I haven't looked much at their solo queue efforts, but if we're putting them on the same team, put them in the same
Even
lane,
okay, I'll give you
beautiful.
that one.
And yeah, that would be my all-star team.
Alrighty, so yeah, it'll be interesting to see how that works out. All right, so
Definitely.
I believe coming to the end of the podcast, you have a trivial question for us.
Yeah, I definitely do. So, with all this other league talk, we did have a major event a couple of weeks ago, Worlds, as you probably know.
Yep.
And with all this talk about Faker, uh, who is obviously the best mid laner in the world, he played a major part of SKT taking the world championship.
Oh, for sure. I think there was only what, maybe 2, 3 games he actually sat on bench.
For sure. Um, over the whole tournament, he had a kill participation of 64%. This put him at what ranking on the leaderboard? 63rd, 69th, 70th, or 66th?
I'm gonna have to say 66.
Perfection, right on the dot. You would think,
Perfection.
you would think someone who had such major influence on a game on in a team would have much higher kill participation than that.
Yeah, you would think so, but
He
how the
played a
hell?
majorly he played a major passive role. Like Myron decimated. He was the major player for them, I think,
Yeah,
right
he
through
was.
Worlds.
Even though he's not as famous as a player, he did put out a fairly solid performance.
He is their team captain. So anyway, I think that brings us to the end of the podcast. Ben, where can we find you?
You can find me at Synchro. That's SYNCRO underscore at Twitter, or you can catch me up on League of Legends on the OCE servers at White Ravenix. That's WhiteRavinx. I'm on most nights after 6 Eastern Standard Times. So yeah, just feel free to add me, jump along, come say hi. I'm cool, keen to chill. How about you?
You can add me at Taranowens108 on Twitter. at Taboo 1108 on League of Legends, Kiss Me Katut on Steam. Feel free to add me, play any game. I play many, many games. Taboo 108 on Battle.net, play some Hearthstone. And that's about it. Thanks for listening, guys. Hope you enjoyed it.
Any
Any last words?
I've got nothing really to add today, but yeah, thank you for tuning in.
No worries. We'll leave you now with another snippet of Child of the Monkeys, a Child of the Monkey Machines remix, which of course can be found on ocremix.org. Link will be left in the description. See yous.
Yeah, catch you later.